Hello, hello. Welcome to another episode of Glorious Life on Wheels. Let's see who is in the house today. Oh my goodness. Oh, we got a house full. Kenneth, hello. Hello. Oh, thank you for last week's prayers. Maybe someday I will share. Yeah, well, whatever you're comfortable doing, Kenneth, you do what you're comfortable. But we love you, whatever you share or don't share. Hey, Barry, I just talked to you a couple days ago. Hello. Yes, all my Glowbies. Maybe I should say royal Glowbies. You are royal. You are each and every one royal Glowbies. Hey, Vaughn. Hello. Mana, California. Hello. I know I'm having a blessed day. I hope everyone else is too. I stopped by and got some, my favorite drink. This is not sponsored, but I was going to say, I don't know if they would want to sponsor me and pay me any more as much free stuff as I get from them. And right now, one of the stores in Carlsbad, off Palomar Airport Road, is having a special. After 2:00, their pastries are half off, and I love their pecan braids. But at $5.59 or whatever it is, but at half off. Now we're talking. I don't know how long that's going to go for, but I'm enjoying every minute of it. Hey, Nora's in the house. Hello. Outdoor Dash Travel. Hey, Lisa, I got to give you a call. I want to ask you a question, but I'll do it after the live is over. So who else is Susie Aspen? Oh my goodness, from Southeast Arizona, the nicest small town in the U.S., Bisbee. Well, I think I've been to Bisbee, but I certainly would like to go back. So I'll have to check it out and see if in fact it is the nicest small town in the U.S., Susie. Let's see. Hello. Who else is in the house? I'm just, yes, Kenneth, such fine people here. You got that right. I think the best on all of YouTube and all of the net. What can I say? Debbie Johnson says, hello, Jessica and everyone. Well, Jessica is helping her little friend at church on Saturdays. Excuse me. On Saturdays, they go over and help set up chairs and do all that for the Saturday service. So her little friend, so hey, if they can do some productive things, I'm okay with them getting together. Susie says, I thought it might be time zone confusion. No, you're here. I'm glad you're here. Hey, Brenda, how's it going? Nope, you're not late. You're right on time. Donna Flynn. Hey, Donna, are you back in Vancouver? Oh, you're back in Vancouver. Oh my goodness. Made it back to Canada safely. Well, I'm glad to hear that. Lindy said you had a fabulous time. She had a fabulous time with you. So, and I had fun time, the little bit of time that I was camping over in Quartzsite with you guys. So I hope we'll be seeing each other again this winter. But I may make a trip up to Vancouver. I've really been seriously thinking about that. I want to go up the coast, but there's so many things I want to do and so many places I want to visit and share with you guys. But I wanted to talk today too about tips on stretching a dollar. I don't know if you saw the new thumbnail I added. I was in Vaughn's. Oops, I didn't mean to say that. Didn't mean to say the store. But I was in a store and they had ground beef. It may have been the 80% one, but it was $6.49 a pound, and that was on sale. Usually people are, when times are hard, we could always buy hamburger meat. $6.49 a pound on sale. And just above it, I don't know if you saw in the thumbnail, just above it, they had steak. And I forget what kind of steak it was, but it was $37.99, either $37.49 or $37.99 a pound. So yeah, we're going to talk about some tips because next week I'm going to be doing some tips on budgeting. And I'm also going to be doing some budget meals. Yep, I'm finally going to do it. But, I hope you guys have seen the videos that I've been doing on these tiny houses. And I'm going to look for some more that would, I think, be suitable sheds that would be suitable for tiny houses. I did a video a while back from Tough Shed, and I really like those. But they're considerably more expensive. But they do them, I think, to standard construction guidelines. I think it's, what is it, the 16 or 24, whatever it is, that standard construction. Plus, they install them for you. They set them up. They'll put them on concrete or, on your blocks. But lots going on, and I've reached out to 2 or 3 realtors. I've been working with one, but I was in an area that I wasn't that crazy about, and I wasn't finding anything. So I am reaching out to 2 other realtors. One is really busy, so that's kind of a good sign. And they're going to be getting back with me in a couple of weeks, and they're going to really seriously start looking for land. I have been looking, but I haven't made it my number 1 priority because I have so many other things going on. But I am looking for land for my tiny house community. Hey, Faye Martin, how's it going? Let's see who else is in the house. Mana, California says temps are rising here. What about you all? No, we've had unseasonably cool weather here. Oh, I know, on the coast it can be kind of overcast in the morning, but it rained. Jessica was telling me early this morning. We're usually by now at the 1st of June, we are usually into really just beautiful weather most of the day. And it's still been overcast and kind of gloomy here for the most part. So I don't know what's happening. But now I heard Lindy say that in Sacramento area, it's blazing. It's up there. So some areas are getting the hot weather. Hey, Graham says, good day to fellow Glowbies from Jury. I'm hoping I'm saying that right. Australia. Surrounded by horse people again for the golden, oh my goodness, spur camp drafting competition. Wow, it's bigger than with tractor trailers done up as campers. Oh my goodness. I bet, Graham, you need to start a YouTube channel and start documenting some of this stuff. You come across such interesting things, and I know people would love to see it. I sure would. Hey, Bonnie Martin, how's it going? CW Style 3. Hey, good to see you too. Viv, Viv the van is in the house. Hello. Oh my goodness. I'm looking. Any of you guys want to do research for me? Well, it's free, volunteer, but I'm really specifically looking for places on the western part of the country, because as I'm getting this thing going, I'm going to have to be traveling there back and forth. I don't want to have to be going all the way across the country, although I really have considered, I'll tell you, I've considered West Virginia. West Virginia has some beautiful areas. And do you know that West Virginia was paying people, I think, $12,000 to move there? And it had become a big deal kind of with some folks because they were saying that it was causing the prices of real estate to go up. But yeah, they were, I forget, let me see what the program was. Hold on. Let's see. West Virginia paying to move. See if I can find this. It was a special, I'm not having that great at internet, but, it's called Ascend, ASCEND, Ascend West Virginia. And it's a program that offers up to $12,000 in cash and other incentives to remote workers who move to West Virginia. I mean, that's pretty, $12,000. You can probably buy a piece of land there for that, but they want people who have income coming in. So it says remote workers, but I'm guessing, and it says and other incentives. So I'm wondering what that might be. It sounds pretty interesting, but it's just so far. If I had to go back and forth as this thing is going on, it would just be quite intense to travel. So I'm trying to get somewhere that I could actually drive to in a day. So I'm looking mostly in California, although that's so expensive, Arizona, Utah, maybe southern or western Utah and Nevada. So if you guys want to do a little homework for me, research, and help me out, I'm finding areas that have unrestricted, where they don't have a lot of requirements. I know, Lisa, you were telling me that where she's building, some of they don't even have inspections required. So I mean, since I'm not buying something, that would be great. If I was buying something, no, that wouldn't be so great. But since I'm not buying something, now I did look at Fredericksburg, because there was someone who built a Airbnb compound there, because again they had unrestricted types of zoning things. But the property there, I was looking at, even a half acre is $50,000. I mean, it was very expensive. So I need to find somewhere. So if you guys, my arms and legs and eyes, can find areas in these regional areas that I'm talking about, where it's unrestricted zoning, where you don't have so many restrictions on putting in a tiny house village, please let me know. I would be very interested in looking there. I'm recruiting everyone I can to help me find my land. So let's go and do it. Oh, thank you, Mana, California. Yes, smash that like button. I always forget about that. Before I get any further, talking about tips and things we're going to do to stretch our dollars, and I'm going to be doing some budgeting tips and tips on how to get your finances under control, because I really think that harder times are ahead. But before I do that, I want to share some information. And I don't know that I've ever come on and asked people to donate to anything. I tell you guys about people, and then sometimes you choose to, but I've never really gone on and asked. But I'm going to make an exception today, and I'm going to tell you a story about someone, and this is just heartbreaking. There's a woman, I think she's in her 40s. I'll have to find out. She is a veteran, a career veteran. In other words, she was a career military, retired. She recently underwent treatment for breast cancer, and I think is just finishing up the chemo and that type of thing. As she's getting off the chemo and the breast cancer treatments, she lives in Texas. She was in an area that was hit by tornadoes. Now, her apartment that she lived in wasn't damaged, but others in the area were. But all of the utilities went out where she was living. So she has 4 children. 2 of them are adults, young adults, maybe the early 20s. Another one that may be 18, I'm not sure. And then the baby was 15. After the tornado struck, the oldest boy, who I think was 21 or 22, and his baby sister, who was 15, along with a friend of hers who was 14, decided they would walk down the street and just get some snacks and some cold drinks, since, the utilities were out. In Texas at this time of year, it is hotter than blazes, humid. So they were going to get some refreshments, and going to walk back. And the older brother decided to accompany his baby sister, because he's always looking out for her, and he was just her guardian. So he's going to walk with her to the store, right? My understanding, I don't have all the details. I haven't seen the article yet. I'm just getting this second and third hand. But as they're apparently in a crosswalk crossing the street, my understanding is that there was a car stopped. A young man, 18 years old, on a motorcycle comes. I don't know if he's tearing down the street, but I'm guessing he might have been. Goes around the car instead of stopping, and I guess he didn't see them in the crosswalk, and boom, he hits the party that's crossing the street. The 15-year-old girl, my understanding, passed at the scene, with her brother, who's her protector, watching this. Her 14-year-old friend also expired at the scene, is my understanding. The 18-year-old was taken to the hospital, or my understanding is he's still in a coma, but he's the one who was on the motorcycle. So they have a GoFundMe to try and come up with the funeral expenses for the 15-year-old. So the mother's recovering from cancer, lost her baby girl, and now has 2 children, the next oldest girl and her oldest son, who are so traumatized they can barely function watching their baby sister pass like this. So she's trying to hold it together, hold them together, hold herself together, and plan the funeral. So I have never done this before, but I'm going to share the GoFundMe. And I know these are hard times. So if you guys are not able to or don't want to, don't. This is nothing, no pressure, but I want to give you the name. And if one of my moderators would drop the name, it's the name under GoFundMe is Jaylani, Jae, or it's called Remembering Jaylani Carey Beatty. And that's Jaellanni. Let me see if I can write it down here. Let's see. I'm going to put it down here. Remembering. For full disclosure, I am connected to her, but not connected. And let me explain that. Okay, let me see if I can explain this. My brother Donald is the one who told me about it. It's his ex-wife's son's ex-wife. So basically, my brother's stepson from his ex-wife, and their children. So I've never met her. And I've never met the children, so I don't really know. Or I may have met the oldest boy when he was 2 or 3. I don't know. But I've never met her, so I don't know her. But when my brother told me the story, and I'm going to, of course, send a donation, but I'm going to send it directly to her. But I'll send I'll put the information here. And if anyone feels touched to do something, you can do it. If not, don't. And if you can't afford it, by all means, don't. But it's Jaylani, remembering Jaellanni, and then it's Beatty, Baity. I just thought, what would it be like to? I talked to my ex-sister-in-law last night because she called to give me the information because I asked for it. And I thought, this sounds like a Job story. Job in the Bible, where his kids went out and they all tent fell on them, and then his sheep died, and then this died. It just sounds like who I don't know. But anyhow, I wanted to share that with you, and I don't want to take up any more time, but I just wanted to share that. But anyhow, I am going to be talking next week about tips for stretching your dollar, because from what I'm hearing, I'm always constantly researching and looking up information for you guys. But what I'm hearing is that food prices are going to be going up even more than they are right now. So I think we're going to all need to be tightening our belts. And for those who are in debt, you've got to get rid of that debt. Because the interest, I got a letter from Home Depot, and they were notifying me, the new interest rates. If I'm not mistaken, I may be mistaken, but I thought it was 29%. 29%. So if you buy something for $100, you're actually paying $129 for it. But with interest compounding on top of interest, if you don't pay the whole thing, could you possibly end up paying $200 for a $100 item? I don't know. But debt will take you out. It absolutely will. So I'm going to be doing a thing on how to budget next week, and some things how to start from scratch, how to get things under control, priorities, and some of those things. So Stay tuned next week, and some budget meals, which is what I started out with on this channel. I started out as a channel doing delicious, simple budget meals, cooking them on a butane stove, and I'm going to do some of those next week. Hey, Caroline Hannah, did I say hello to you already? And Deborah Holden, hey, Deborah Holden Grogan, hello. Just finished walking. Whoa, 3.7 miles and beat. Time for a protein shake and you. Well, I don't know which will do you better. I think the protein shake may, but hopefully you get some enjoyment out of this too. Hey, Miss Ned, hello, hello. Who else is in the house? I know, isn't that insane? For I don't know whether you're talking about the ground beef or the situation with the family, but both are insane. Oh my goodness. CW Style says you won't be making hamburgers for a while. That is terrible. I know. That was I was kind of correlating the price of hamburgers as what used to be an affordable meal or basis for a meal with mobile homes. Now follow me. I mean, it's not as crazy as it sounds. Mobile homes and mobile home parks used to be the affordable alternative for people who didn't have a lot of living or didn't have a lot of finances as to somewhere to live affordably. Hamburger also. So in the food area, the affordable option is no longer affordable. And in the living area, residential area, that's no longer affordable either. So what are people who are barely making it going to do? I don't know. But I'm going to try and do some things and some suggestions next week that help. One of the things that I'm going to say is do not eat out. Although I have to admit, I haven't done this for a while, but they're having a special here. Usually their pecan braids, as I said, are $5.59 each and they're half off. So I let myself have a treat, but that's a rarity for me. That really is. But unless I get from my club, sometimes after so much, I'll get a free something or another. But hey, Red's in the house. My fabulous moderator is in the house. One of my fabulous moderators. But I love to hear from you some of your tips as to what you are doing to cut down costs on food. Let's just talk about one thing at a time. Food. What are you doing other than not eating out? That is crucial, not eating out because it's so expensive. Esther says, hello from the high desert. Oh, ooh, 92 degrees there. Now, is that, when you say high desert, is that up near Victorville or somewhere up there? Because that's on the way to Las Vegas, and you know Las Vegas gets pretty scorching. Hello, Martha One is saying hello to everyone. Let's see who else is in the house that I haven't said. Hey, Adele, I still haven't done a tour of your van, Adele, and I really want to do that. Who else is? Susie Aspen says my kinfolk are all from West Virginia. Now, did you grow up there, or have you been there since you have kinfolk that are from there, Susie? I just am so impressed by the beauty of that state. But again, there are pockets that have been decimated by the coal industry going defunct. Decimated, whereas we have just whole towns have practically shut down, and the fentanyl and OxyContin, I understand, is just rampant there, the addiction there in some parts. But there are other parts, and I was seeing there's a National Gorge River or something. I'll have to look it up. But there's some, and that's where Harper's Ferry, which is a famous site from the Civil War. I mean, there's some really interesting things in West Virginia, and I don't know if I could get a great deal, I might have to consider it. But wow, I don't know. Hey, Mac says, what kind of jobs in West Virginia would there be? Well, it would be what they're talking about is remote, for people who have remote jobs. So it would be, I would think, if you're retired and living on Social Security, or if maybe you're, say, a virtual assistant, or you're doing something online like YouTube or something like that, I would think those would be some of the jobs. But also around some of the, let me look under West Virginia. I was looking because I have been doing some research on West Virginia, and I was looking at some of the um, West Virginia tourist or sites, or let me see, famous sites. And they have, let's see, there's Blackwater State Park, there's Harper's Ferry National Historical Park, there's, well, I don't know if I want to go here, but there's the West Virginia Penitentiary. Oh my goodness. But it's a beautiful building. There's the New River Gorge. That's supposed to be really interesting. There's a New River Gorge National Park and Preserve. So they have a national park in Virginia, West Virginia. And there's Berkeley Springs State Park. There's also coal mines that you can go in, and there's some kind of caverns there that are really interesting, that I think would be worth seeing. They're caves or something, but I don't know that much. But I've been looking up, because in that I'm kind of in the back of my mind as a possible option if I could get land really, really inexpensive there, and the zoning would be permitted for me to do it. I might just have to really seriously consider that. So, but those are the jobs, Mac, that I think would be mostly remote jobs and for people who are retired. I'm looking at where could people live, because here's my plan. I'm not going to give you my whole plan, but I can give you part of my plan. I want to have so many tiny houses in my village where people could rent the tiny houses, and I want them to be way, way, way below market rate for rent. And then I want to have some spaces where there would be RV spaces, again, way below rent, and then maybe a couple of dry camping slots. So I have to get the land really cheap in order to be able to charge, say the prevailing rate was $1,200 a month for rent. Well, I don't know where you can get rent for $1,200 in California, but if it was, let's just say it was, I would want to be no more than, say, $600 at max, but $500. So I want to be at least less. I want to be down to half or less the rent around the area. So people who are low income, who are seniors, and I'm right now focusing on seniors who are living on Social Security, who can't afford the rent. And that's who I'm looking to have my target population be, because that's where my heart is. So that's what I'm going to follow. But I have to do it in a financially and fiscally sound manner. Hey, plain vanilla grandma, you emailed me a house. Okay, all right, I will look at that. And it includes bathroom, electric, and plumbing. Okay, I haven't actually. I've been going so fast, calling so many people, setting up so many interviews, and I was working on a story that I really wanted to bring you this week, but I needed to verify some of the information and fact check, and I wasn't able to get in touch with one of the agencies or anyone at one of the agencies I wanted to fact check, because I told you, it's a horrific story of how seniors were treated. But I want to get the facts checked, because I don't want to be sued for slandering someone. Whereas if you put the truth out there, it's not slander. So having been a journalist in the past, and an investigator writing reports for superior courts, I'm very, very determined to make sure I have my facts straight before I air a story. So hopefully that will air maybe next Saturday. I don't know, depending on if I can get these interviews and get the information confirmed one way or the other. Hey, JW from Cochise County. So, how is it in Cochise County? Are there a lot of restrictions there on building and maybe putting up tiny house communities? Graham says you really need to step away from red meat at this price. I know. Is they go over here, but not all farms. Yep, yeah. Yeah, even wings. Drumsticks are cheaper than wings. Wings used to be so cheap on chicken, but not anymore. Not anymore. Hey, Mark H. We went to a local hamburger place for lunch a couple days ago. They have good fresh cut fries and hand. Hmm. Okay. Okay. Hey, Donald, how's it going? My brother. Mm, he's been I don't know if you want to share that, Donald, so I'll let you decide what to share, but um he's been going through a little bit. Hey, Sheila, hello. Susie says between Bisbee and Tombstone there's a lot of straw bale houses off grid. Really? Between Bisbee and Tombstone. Now, is it in Bisbee, the city of Bisbee, on the outskirts or the outskirts of Tombstone? Now, I have been to Tombstone, so I probably have been to Bisbee. I have been to Tombstone. Huh. So between Bisbee and Tombstone, I'll have to put that on my list to check out. The only thing in Arizona is the problem with water. And I don't want to have to rely on delivered water because if something happens to the water supply, those suppliers could cost charge whatever they want, and I'd have to pay it because you have to have water. So I want somewhere where I have water on my property. Nora's saying hi to Intentional Frugality. I think I must have missed you. Hey, Intentional Frugality, how's it going? Mark says I fell over cheeseburger, fries, and a Coke, $17.70. Well, Mark, let me tell you something. There's a place not far. Well, there are a few places not far from here where the burgers are. One place it's $18, just the burger, and another place 24. 24 $24 just the burger. Yeah. I mean, they're good. I had them before when they were 18. I did it, or maybe they were 14. This is some years back. They were 14, but now they're, oh yeah. So, oh, Red says, I'm looking around everywhere too, Carol. West Coast, East Coast by my daughter, but not going for South, not Georgia. I already lived there 32 years. No Texas, no thank you. Well, I was definitely not on Texas. Then I had a nephew move there, and then Lisa is buying property there. So I thought, well, let me look. And then they had the tornado, so that kind of scared me off a bit. But now I'm looking back when I saw this tiny house Airbnb place that was talking about how there's not a lot of restrictions to building. And that's the problem, that I need to overcome so I can put down sheds to conversions, containers, whatever I want, and have a combination, but not have a lot of restrictions. I need to get in before they add restrictions, Hey, Sheila, hello. And who else is, have I not said anything to? Plain Vanilla Grandma says, it looks like 90 viewers and only 41 likes. What? Only 41 likes? All right, you guys. I don't want to start doing like some people do. Well, they won't even start talking until they have like 100 likes or something. I don't want to do that. So don't make me. Let's get those likes up. Can we? It really does help. And I appreciate it so much. Let's see who else is in the house. Plain Vanilla Grandma says, I wish you could put your tiny village in the Texas panhandle here on I-40. I don't know where I'm going to put it, but I'm not. I considered New Mexico, I am considering New Mexico. One of the places that I really liked. I went to the balloon festival some years back, and me and Judy went camping up in the mountains above Albuquerque, and I'm telling you, it was beautiful, beautiful country up there. So I would consider somewhere up there. I don't know what the water situation is there, so I will have to check it out. But I'm contacting a couple people and ask them if they will keep their eye out for me for property. So anyone out here, if you live somewhere where there's not a lot of restrictions on building and there's property for sale that's reasonably priced, hit me up on gloriouslifeonwheels@gmail.com and let me know. Let's see who else is in the house here that I haven't said. Hey, Glenna Russell, hello, hello. Thumbs up and love from Southern California. I think I did announce last live that I'm probably going to be doing a meetup. I'm planning to do a meetup maybe in September, before it gets cooler, but while it's cooler, but not the heat of the summer. So that's my plan. And then I have time to plan for it too. So that's the plan right now. JW says, look in Cochise County, Arizona. Okay, I will look. Now, what cities are in Cochise? Now, I know I did look at Sholo up in the White Mountains. That's in, I think Sholo is in Navajo County, which has tighter restrictions than Concho, and which is in Apache County. So I did look up there, but the problem is water, and it costs a fortune to drill a well, and then you have no guarantee that you'll hit water. So I don't know, but I'm looking everywhere. Yeah, intentional frugality and budgeting. It was beyond devastating what happened to them, the family. But yeah, it is heartbreaking. I'm behind here. Hey, H Stone is in the house. Weren't you telling me that you have bought a tiny house and that your husband wired it and you insulated it? I am going to drop a link. Now, Shay was supposed to be in the house this week to talk about starting her journey on her fifth wheel after selling her house, but I don't see Shay in the house yet. Maybe I'm just missing her. But H Stone, I'm dropping a link, and if you'd like to come on up, and I want to ask you some questions about your tiny house, because I have a lot of interest in the tiny houses that I've been showing, including that resin one that I showed from Costco. That was only $7.99. I mean, it's not like a perfect situation. I'm not saying it is, but it beats being on the streets, and it beats, I think, being in a car. Depending on if you have it somewhere where you don't have really extreme weather, like in the summer in Arizona, that would be a challenge, and in the winter in Minnesota, that would be a challenge. So you have to have somewhere that's kind of more mild weather. But let's see. So if you want to come on up, H Stone, come on up, and I want to talk. Is anyone else here have a tiny house that you're living in? I mean, a really tiny house, not like 400 square foot or more, but I'm talking about 200 square foot or even less. Hey, Anonymous, hello. Bonnie Martin is saying hello to people. Hey, Amy and my doggy body's beautiful life. Oh my goodness. Hello. Graham says minced ground beef is crazy pricey at the moment. Really? Yeah, over there too, Graham. But minced chicken or turkey is a third the price. That's interesting. I haven't really looked at ground turkey, so I'll have to look and see. Ground turkey is usually kind of expensive here, but I'll look and see. I'll check that out. These cooked chickens you can buy, although not fantastic, are a better bet for a couple of. Well, actually, the chickens that they have at Costco are pretty good size, and they're delicious. I mean, really delicious. So, but I'm going to be showing you some stuff that I think you're going to flip over next week. Hopefully I'll get it together. Hopefully I'll get it together. Hey Tracy, hello. Good grief. Where is this? Alaska? No, this is in California. If you're talking about the price for the ground beef, but if you're talking about what happened to the family, that was in Texas. It was actually in Temple, Texas. And I think it was the big news. It just happened. I think it happened either this past Sunday or the Sunday before, but it's a very recent thing that happened to the family. Uh, uh, oh, okay. I have the link there for it. Remember, Jelani. All right. Thank you, Red. Red, you're always on top of stuff. You are always on top of it. Thank you for that. Bonnie says, I lost my stepson some years ago in a very it is very, very heartbreaking. It is. It really is. I just when I heard it, when Donald was telling me about it, I was just my heart was just breaking for them, you know. But I missed something. Red saying no problem, Nora. I'm missing something. Hey, Hey, L Express. Hello from New Zealand. Oh my goodness. So you're not too far, I guess, from Graham, or at least you're closer than we are. Hello. Thank you, Donald, for dropping that. Um, Brenda says, I miss your cooking segments. You know, I do too, but I tell you, they were so expensive because a lot of times I was working on recipes and I would make it once, and then if it didn't come out right, I wasn't going to air it. So then I'd have to start all over again. Or it didn't wasn't that it didn't come out right, but it didn't come out to my standard. And you know, I've already talked about being a recovering perfectionist. So then I would make it a second time, or I might just make it a one time. If it wasn't something I made all the time, I would make it one time to test it. Then I'd make it a second time. So I was spending, I can't tell you how much money I was spending on supplies. But I am going to do some cooking this week because I really want to present some meals that you can make on the cheap, no matter if you're living in a sticks and bricks, no matter if you're living in van or tiny house or wherever. I want to, because food is just outrageous. It's just outrageously priced. So let's see. Hey, Patty Whack. Hello, I love that name. Ann Mid says, color your gray roots at home instead of going to a hair salon. Save big. I was listening to I watch Shelby Church. I love that channel. If you have not watched Shelby Church, she interviews all kinds of people who have tiny home communities and Airbnb communities. I love her channel. She was saying, I could not believe it. It blew my mind. She was saying she gets, I guess, blonde, her hair done blonde and highlights and stuff. $600. The last she was saying she went to one salon and she said, you know, it got up to $600 for the, and then she said, but it normally only costs, although she says it's expensive, but it normally only costs $400 and some dollars. I was thinking, first of all, you see my hair. You see, I don't go to any beauty salon, obviously, but I was like, $400 to get your hair. I don't care if my hair was, I don't care what color it was. If it was the color of, I can't even think of anything really bad, but if it was polka dot color, I would leave it polka dot before I would pay $400 and some dollars at a salon to get my hair colored. Because here's the thing, you have to get it continually done. So that means you're not just getting it done once, you're probably getting it done every 3 months or so. So that means you're spending a couple $1,000 And then she was saying she bought products. So by the time she got out of there with tip and everything, it was over $700. That's the price almost of that tiny house. She bought a tiny house with her hair. Do you believe that? Whoo, buddy. Oh my goodness. I was shocked. But yeah, and don't go to the salon. You're right. Plain Vanilla says, I can't do a lot, but I will donate a little. Plain Vanilla, you know what? I know you are facing hard times. So anyone who's having hard times, I know your heart is in the right place. Just don't do anything that is going to stretch you or make you have to sacrifice, or I just don't want anyone to do that. It's only if you're really able to and it's not going to hurt. Please, I don't, because I am going to give a sizable donation. um but yeah, I wish I could pay for the whole funeral, but I can't. But I can, yeah, Marta, price gouging. Yep. Kenneth says a Carol meal will make you squeal. Oh my goodness, Kenneth, you bring a smile to my face and make me laugh. You're good for my soul. You are. L Express says in New Zealand we pay for beef mince, which is the same as your hamburger meat. We pay what? 11.99 a kilo or a pound. Crazy, not cheap anymore. Oh my goodness. Well, I'm going to stop complaining. Well, no, I'm not going to stop complaining, but I'm just glad that we're not paying that yet. Wow. Wow, wow. Now, you have all of this sheep over there. So do you have mutton, and how expensive, or I've heard you have a lot of sheep. So how expensive is mutton, and is mutton a common meal over there? And is there minced mutton? Letitia says, sending love from Georgia. It's time. It's first time on your live. Well, Letitia, welcome. Welcome from Georgia. Do you have any cheap land around you that I can look at without a lot of restrictions? But welcome, all jokes aside. Thank you. Sending love right back to you in Georgia, Letitia. There is a tiny house village in Atlanta. A young black man has developed it, and it is fantastic, but it's very, very, very upscale. It's not in my pocketbook, but it's beautiful. It's beautifully done. Really beautifully done. Patty Wax says, I make 3 meals out of 1 pound of hamburger. Oh, I make more than that. We had I did the other day, I had this rice. Let me see. Oh, hold on. I hate getting up and out of the picture, but I want to show you guys something. This is what I bought. The 99 dollar store was closing. They were going out of business, as you know. And they have these things like their dirty rice, and they had dirty rice, Spanish rice. They had several different things. These were $1.25, and they had them on sale for, I think, I don't remember what they were, but I bought up a bundle of them. I mean, a bundle of them. And what I do is I use them, and I just add, because it has seasoning in it. It has, let's see, it has the seasoning and stuff. So you just use this. Then I added ground beef to it, and I added ground beef. I added some broccoli. I added some onions and some bell pepper. And I made out of this pack, I made 5 meals. This with some green beans, 5 meals. Oh no, I take it back. I didn't do the green beans when I did the broccoli in it. Sometimes I don't do the broccoli. 5 meals, $1.20, or so it was on sale for under $1. Plus, at that point, I got that ground beef for $3.99 a pound. So under $5, I made 5 meals. So that was $1 a meal. So yeah, so I snatched those up. So let's see. Barry, hey, Barry. Oh my goodness. Says in the past when money was tight, one thought that helped me along was when I saw something that I wanted to purchase, I would say to myself, do you want it or do you need it? That's a good question to ask yourself, Barry. Do you want it or do you need it? And I would say probably, I would say a good 80% of the time, it's something we want rather than something we need. But what I'm considering doing, a friend of mine, I'd set up an account, but then I never did anything. But a friend of mine is selling stuff on Poshmark and doing pretty well. I mean, doing very well. So I thought, wow, you know, let's say you started out with $100 budget and you thrift shopped and you know how to buy really good brands. You could maybe get something, especially with your senior discount or something, for maybe $4.99 that you could maybe sell for $18 or $19. And Poshmark, I think, sends you the labels. So you just bag it up and send it out. So that is an idea. I saw someone also, I forget who it was, but she was on a YouTube channel. She was interviewed by someone, and she is a nomad, and that's how she supports herself, selling on Poshmark. So that's an idea too, Sometimes I've seen things in the thrift stores, and sometimes they have half off sales at the thrift store. So half off sale on something that you get maybe for $10 that you can sell for 40. You have to really have a good eye though and know what is selling. What I would recommend if you're going to do that is looking on eBay and see what's selling. But I like Poshmark, but I know people who are making serious money reselling online. Red says, hello at Ann Mitt. Always use a box of hair color on my natural red has faded to a whitish strawberry blonde. Yeah. Again, that's a way to save money. Doing it yourself. Letitia Wallace says, we do not eat out at all. We have no idea what's in the food. That's true. And you don't know how it's being cooked, and you don't know. I still remember, our very, very, very favorite restaurant, Chinese restaurant in Oakland. We used to go there all the time. And then one time my mom and I went there, and we had to go to the bathroom. So they let us go through the kitchen because the bathroom was on the other side. When we walked through that kitchen, I looked at my mom. She looked at me. We'd already ordered our food, so so we couldn't. But I was like, holy criminy. When I saw that kitchen, I just got sick to my stomach. I thought, we've been eating here all this time. We never went back. I don't know whether it was thank goodness we went to the bathroom or darn we went to the bathroom, but we couldn't eat there anymore after walking through that kitchen and seeing what we saw. I'm not even going to go into detail. Hey, Lindy's in the house. Hello, lava Lindy. Awesome van adventure. She has a video out today talking about, oh my gosh, how the state has misplaced billions of dollars. Ugh, it's crazy. It is crazy. Marta says, I work at Mayer grocery store and they keep trying to push their credit card to customers at 26% interest. Now that's really crazy. So you're already going to pay much more for your groceries, and then you're going to put them on a credit card and pay 26% interest on your food? No. Wow. Susie says senior day shopping this Wednesday. Now, where is that senior day shopping, Susie? Because you know what I'd like to do? I'd like every first. This is Connected Heart Day. On the first live of the month also, I want to talk about, just Connected Hearts, be a source of encouragement for you. And if there's anyone that needs prayer, please let us know so we can do that. This is Connected Hearts. We want to make sure we connect extra specially on the first Saturday of every month. I don't know if you remember a while back, I started this Connected Hearts. So if you need any prayer today, please let us know and let me know so that we can address that before we leave. But where is that senior senior shopping on Wednesday, Susie. Also, if you guys, if you have tips on saving money, like on different things, I'm going to try and at least every week, if I can remember, bring a tip on something for saving. Now, again, I just said don't eat out, but if you have to eat out, and if you're going to, a lot of places have senior prices on coffee and also will give senior discounts. So do ask for that. But I'm going to be looking for bargains and deals, and hopefully, sharing at least a couple of those every week here with you. But anyone else, that's a great tip. Thank you, Susie. I appreciate that. Uh, Donna Flynn is saying hello to everyone. Oh, Southern Hospitality's in the house. How did I miss that? Hello, Southern Hospitality. I tell you, Nora's on the job there. She's on the job. Bonnie Martin says chicken breast, rice, beans, all the foods we ate in the 60s. Yes, although I think I'm going to go with chicken thighs because they're a little less expensive, Bonnie. And, but, our chicken drumsticks, maybe, a little less expensive. Miss Net said mobile homes in my area are 200,000 to 300,000. Wow. And then how much is the rent on the lot that they're on, Miss Net? Because that's not your only price. When you get a mobile home, you then got to put it somewhere, just like a tiny house. Oh my goodness. Marta says, work at, oh yeah, you already shared that. I already read that. I may have gone backwards. I don't know. Red says not eating out helps. Red meat costs so much because I was eating out. Yeah. And taking others out. Oh, no. And celebrating too long, the money from my dad. Yeah. No. That's what happens, Red, with these athletes. They get a big bunch of money. And did you hear that? What's it? Antonio Brown? Who is it? Antonio something, a football player who had, let me look it up. He had a contract, a huge contract, and it was just announced that he filed bankruptcy. Let's see. Antonio files bankruptcy. Going out and celebrating. And Antonio, retired NFL wide receiver Antonio Brown, filed Chapter 11 bankruptcy Monday. He's 35 years old. 35 years old. He owes nearly $3 million to 8 creditors. How does that happen? When I'm looking here to try and see what he made. Oh, listen to this. This is gonna blow your socks off. He made more than $80 million. $80 million in a 12-year career. And he listed his estimated assets right now as $50,000 or less. I'm sorry. I don't feel sorry for him. You've blown $80 million, even with taxes and everything, $40 million. In 12 years, you've blown $40 million. And now you can't pay your creditors $3 million. I don't know. I really think there needs to be, in every school, starting in elementary school, they need to start having the curriculum, including budgeting, how to make a budget, how to pay your bills, and definitely by the time you get to high school, it needs to be part of the curriculum. You can't graduate unless you've passed a class in that. Oh my goodness. Patty says hello. Oh, hi, Patty. Irwin says hello from Corona. Always check for leftovers in the fridge for a meal. That is true. And you know what I heard someone say, I can't remember who said it, but they said your most expensive meal is the food that you let go bad. And that's true because you paid for that and then it's spoiled and you have to throw it out. That's your most expensive meal. Susie says, I visited grandma, cousins, aunts, and uncles. I grew up in Michigan and Arizona. Okay, not in West Virginia. Okay. All right. Vaughn Zetterose says, I think hillbilly LG on Netflix was about that in West Virginia. Oh, okay. Red says, I also stopped getting DoorDash. Oh my goodness. Do you know I've never ordered DoorDash, Uber Eats? I looked up one of them once because I was going to order something. And by the time it got through with the tip, the delivery, and everything, it was going to be like $20 extra from the meal. I was like, and the meal was only $20, and I was going to pay $20 extra. So I've never ever ordered from DoorDash. Now I have ordered from the local pizza place because they have other stuff, but I think now they started charging because delivery was free, but now they started charging a delivery fee. So I just go down and pick it up, or I pick it up if I was going to do that. I was picking it up on the way home, not making a special trip down there. But other than this pastry from Panera, we have not eaten out. And my goal is to go 30 days without eating out because they say it takes 29 days to break a habit. Although we don't eat out that much, but 29 days. And I'm trying to break any habit of eating out. And it's only going to be a special occasion where we go out with someone for a special occasion. Hey, during COVID, we went an entire year without eating out. An entire year. We ate in no restaurants. So I know we can do it. Let's see. Hey, Tina Laplace is in the house. Says, I eat a lot of potatoes and rice, mashed potatoes with gravy, tomato sauce and noodles, lots of starches. Yeah, that, I tried not to eat too many, but the rice that I got from 99-cent store, I couldn't pass that up. But yeah, beans is a good source of, food, and very, very cheap. Very, very cheap. Express says New Zealand is expensive. I envy you having Walmart. So you don't have any place like Walmart or grocery outlet or that kind of thing there. Wow. You know what I love about grocery outlet? I love that they, at the end when you check out, they show you, how much let's say you buy something for $3 and it's normally $10. They show you at the end how much you save. And I try to save more than I spent. That's my goal. If I spend $30, I try to have saved at least 40. But they're not kidding, because I've seen certain things. They're like in the cheeses, different like Poisson or different things that are like I've seen in the store for $7 and it'll be $2.99 there. So I love grocery outlet. I really do. Graham says, spirit thought for larger families. My son Rob, oh my goodness, with his 6 kids, was telling me that he doesn't take them out as a family anymore. I guess not. A trip to KFC can cost him close to $200. Wow. It must be a lot more expensive there, Graham. $200 for 6? Even if here you could get something at KFC for, say, $10 per person. So that would be 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, $80 here. Wow. And it's 200. So your food is just outrageous there. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Red says, I started eating potatoes more and I love them anyhow. I love mashed potatoes too, I have to admit. I do. Bonds on a Rose says, when I steam broccoli, keep the water and season to make rice later. So tasty. You know what? I was listening to or reading, I don't remember whether I was listening or reading to someone. It was on a Facebook page that I belong to. And they were talking about how they save water. How, like when you turn your shower on and the water takes a while for it to get hot, how they have a bucket there and they save that water and use it to either wash or rinse dishes off, or they use it to water their plants. And they were showing all these things, how they use biodegradable soap like Dr. Bronner's, and and then they use that water. That saves a lot of money. That's a great idea, Red. I love that. And sometimes I will cook something in one thing or boil something, and then I'll use that water for something else that I'm cooking, because I'm just, using it, like if I'm boiling eggs or something, I might use that water for something else. Yeah, that's That's a great, great idea. Um, L Express says we have our own veg garden and it helps a lot. I bet with those prices. Oh my goodness. Patty Wax says 31.24% on my Kohl's card. Wow, I'll have it paid off next month. I would certainly hope so. 31% interest. That's what do they call that? Usury? That's just outrageous. That is crazy. Susie says, funny, I had in that vision for her some months ago, but I think I saw it in Nevada or California. So you had a vision for me in Nevada or California or someone else? Well, my goal is I want to, by the end of this year, I want to have found the property and have at the very least be in escrow. If not completely done, I want to be in escrow. So that gives me 6 months. So I'm going to really be going gun ho. And I have some things I'm doing with an attorney, getting some things set up that'll make it easier, I think. Yeah, Patty, parts of West Virginia are so beautiful. I had no idea. Red says, Graham, yep, I'm the youngest of 7. And my dad was a child of the Great Depression. Oh, we rarely ate out, only special occasions. Us too. When I was growing up, that was not something we did on a regular basis. Peg is talking to Lisa. How are you doing? Elle says, that is such a brilliant idea. May it become a vision fulfilled. I hope so. Well, no, I don't hope so. I know so. God willing. I always say God willing. Sandra Ty says, incredible tiny homes in Tennessee, rents lots for $200 or $300 a month. Well, but you also have to pay, I think it's $10,000 to buy in for the infrastructure. Unless you buy a place that's on a lot, but otherwise you have to pay, and I think the buy-in may be $15,000 now. So and that's how they're going debt free. So they're doing the infrastructure as they go. H. Stone says, buy what's on sale here in Western North Carolina. We eat small meals now that we are older. Children moved out. It's funny, we went from feeding 6 to feeding 2 and a dog. Boy, I bet your grocery bill went down. I bet it really went down. Oh my goodness. Peg is saying it's good to see everyone. Peg says, just saw some good land in northern Arizona that looks like you can do what you want. Well, email me, Peg, and let me know at gloriouslifeonwheels@gmail.com. Let me know where that is. But I got to have water on it. I got to have a well or hooked up to some central municipal water or something, because I just don't not want to have water. I don't want to have delivered water. Susie says, back, unless I got a property for something crazy like $2,000 and it was just totally off grid. But even then, I really don't want it. But I mean, if I got it so dirt cheap, I might consider. I might. Susie says, back when the lottery was 1.5 billion, if I won, I wanted to do the dream too and make Carol the president. No. Nope. Oh, you mean president of your thing? Okay. Oh my goodness. Thank you, Susie, for such confidence in me. Sandra says, incredible tiny homes. Randy Jones and Amanda has a community. I know. I've been back there and I've actually visited that community, Susie, and seen it and met with many of the people who are there. And they have quite a community, and they really do a lot of things together. And I've met some wonderful people back there at that community. And I talked to Randy quite a bit, sometimes on the phone, sometimes in person. Don says, don't forget a thumbs up. Thank you, Donald. Don't forget that thumbs up, folks. Love you, sis. Thank you, Donald. You know I love you too. Kavita, hello, Kavita. Says, hi, Carol. Dairy has gone up big time. I know. I was trying to decide whether to take the picture for my thumbnail of the meat or of the dairy, because they've both gone up so crazy. But, one thing that has come down a little bit Remember how expensive eggs were during the pandemic? Oh my gosh, but they've kind of come down a bit. They're still not as low as they were before the pandemic, but they're less expensive than they were during it. Thank goodness. I mean, that was crazy. Patty Wax says, I'm in a mobile home going up every year. Yep, yep, but still 500. Well, that's really, you're blessed. A month cheaper than a one bedroom apartment. My goal is to get a little property too. California is so regulated, though. Yeah, it is pretty regulated, although because of the shortage of housing in California, they have really done some things if you have a property to make it much easier to put a tiny home on wheels in your backyard, to put an accessory dwelling unit in your backyard. They have a new bill that expedited the permit process where it used to take, I heard people talking about they were in permitting for a year and a half, and this is expedited. They've got to be done within 90 days. So on in some areas it's better, but not, but you have to have a property for that to benefit you. So it doesn't benefit everyone, but hopefully in other areas it will improve too. In fact, there was some area up northern California where they were waiving permitting fees, completely waived all permitting fees. This one city had such a shortage of housing. They waived all permitting fees if you put an accessory dwelling unit up. So some things are getting better. Graham says, my father used to get paid every 2 weeks, and on payday we would have fish and chips. For a family of 7, would need to take out a personal loan now. Yeah, I remember my mom. My dad was stationed away, and she used to get what's called an allotment check, from my dad's military. That would come every month. And on that day, remember, Donald, we used to go to the commissary and we would get, I think this is why we both like that gallows salami so much, because we used to get gallows salami and we used to chop it up. That was a special treat to us. We'd have it on raisin bread. Oh my goodness. And sometimes when my mom was really feeling flush, which wasn't often, but we would get to go ice skating. Oh my God. And we got to invite a friend, and we would have those 50/50 bars. And if it was for some reason she had an extra $15, because that's all it would cost for all of us, we would stop and get barbecue. That barbecue, or stop and get a homemade ice cream cone at Peter's Ice Cream. You know how those memories just stay with you? Funny how so many of our happy memories are around food, isn't it? But I think that's why Donald loves that gallo salami. He can't find it, the hard salami on a stick. He can't find it there, so I send it to him all the time. Well, not all the time, but occasionally from here. But I think it's the memories, Donald. I think it's the memories of how, the fun times, and, we would look so forward to different things. Oh my goodness. I go back. I'm backtracking here. Susie says Cochise County between Tombstone and Bisbee is very open with all types of off-grid designs. Very mild climate. Really? Yes, the location is Tombstone, actually. They deliver or collect water out there. Yeah. Do you know, Susie, if anyone has wells out there or if it's only delivered water? Red says, let's not make this harder than it is, folks. It's red for short. Okay, red for short. 1770, not bad for a hamburger, Donald? Is that what you're talking about? That is bad. Oh, you mean for hamburger, fries, and drink? I still think that's bad. I do. Because even In-N-Out Burger here, I think you can get a hamburger, fries, and you can get a hamburger. You get a double, but you can get a cheeseburger, fries for under $12 at In-N-Out, and those are really good burgers. Susie says big monsoons, but I really don't like it here. Oh, and can't wait to move somewhere. Okay, well, I don't want monsoons, so don't tell me about somewhere where there's monsoons. Yeah, I was just saying that, Patty. In-N-Out double is still not a bad price. You're right, and it's delicious. Adele says, I just emailed you land by Kingman, no restriction, 19-acre. What? Okay. Deep water wells doing good there. Okay. All right. What is the temperature out there? I know I'm always looking for the downside, aren't I, Adele? But thank you. I will look that up. I will absolutely look that up. Thank you, Adele. Guys, keep that information coming on land with no restrictions and water. Keep that coming. Thank you, Adele. You're my first Glowbie to send me a good tip on this. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Donald's telling Lisa, always good to see you. Lindy says beans and rice and potatoes. Yep. Fried onions with ketchup relish sandwich. Mash. Donald, remember when our mom used to? No, there was a guy in my older brother's class who had onion sandwiches, and I think they used to trade, but it wasn't fried onions. It was just chopped onions. Oh my gosh! But fried onions, yeah, with red. Okay, mashed potatoes with gravy, chili without meat, 3 pounds of hamburger, $9.99 grocery outlet. Now that's a great price, Lindy. I love grocery outlet. I love it. That's a great price. But you know what else is you can make like I'm going to try this. You can make cabbage burgers. Cabbage burgers, like you would make, like you make salmon croquettes. You put egg and maybe a little bit of flour and season it up, and then make them into patties. You can make cabbage patties like that. In fact, I think I'll make some this week on my channel and see. But I made some. They were delicious. I mean, really good. And cabbage is not that expensive, and you can get a lot of, well, cabbage does cook down pretty, but I'm gonna make some. And that's you got me thinking, Lindy. Also mashed potatoes with gravy. Ooh, I love that. But you can also make potato knishes, mashed potatoes with seasoning and onions and stuff, and make it into a little shell and bake it. That would be good and filling. All right, next week, I want you guys, okay, everyone, well, not everyone, but anyone who wants to next week, would you come on here with an inexpensive meal or inexpensive item, such as a potato knish, and tell us how to make it? Can you do that next week? Let's do that next week. I'm going to do mine in a video, but you guys, can you come on next week and show and share an inexpensive recipe to make something? We're going to call them hard time recipes. Can you do a hard time recipe next week? All right. I think I'm on a roll over something here. All right. Red says, I'm making a prayer list, checking it twice. I will add you, Don. Oh, thank you, Red. And add the family. Nikki is the name of the mother. Add Nikki to it also. Everyone's saying hi to Lindy. Hey, Noreen. JK said, I wish the billionaires with more money than they will ever need would do good with their money, like donate it to start to make this happen. I do too. Do you know what in California here? In fact, I may do a story on it. California here, they want to build a city. Steve Jobs' widow and a lot of billionaires have bought up, I think it's, 400? I don't know, some vast amount of agricultural land, farming land in Solano County up north outside of San Francisco, and they're planning a city. They're building a city that they want that will have 400,000 people. This billionaire city. I don't know. We'll have to talk about that. I'll have to share that. But yeah, I'm gonna probably do a video on that. That's, I don't know. They're anyhow. Thank you, Noreen. Yes, only 92 likes. Let's get it up to 100. Get it up to 100. Yes. Patty Wex says, my granddaughter took me to the local taco truck yesterday. 1 burrito, 3 tacos, side of beans, and 1 drink, $34.20. Even food trucks, even a taco truck is expensive now, Patty Wack. Wow. Plain Vanilla says, I wish you could build here in the Texas Panhandle, I-40, VA hospital, big medical community, Palo Duro Canyon State Park, but we may run out of water someday. Yeah, that's a problem. That is a problem. Plus, don't you guys have tornadoes there, Carol? Let me know in the comments here. Do you have tornadoes there or not? I think you do, but I'm not sure because Texas has been having some really. Yep. Lisa, Texas has crazy weather, but that's usually down by the coast. Well, not this time. It wasn't. Not this time. It was everywhere. L Express says my chat says 75. That's thumbs up. Uh-oh. Let's get it up. Let's get it up to 100, shall we? Before we get off here. Kavita Diva says Vaughn's on a roll. Hope you guys are doing well. Graham says $24 for a burger. That's American dollars. That's about $30 Aussie. Talk about gourmet. I know. One of the burgers I think was apricot with some kind of I don't know, special gourmet sauce or something. But I could make a burger and throw some apricot preserves on it for a whole lot less than $24. Uh, Vaughn says 3 pounds of hammer. Lindy, you're funny. L Express says New Zealand has tight restriction. Is so frustrating. Wow. And I'm reading more and more about homeless people in Australia. Loads about, especially older women. There was a documentary that came out of there. I don't know. Is it the same thing in New Zealand? L Express. Lindy says hamburger Vaughn. Don says thanks, Red. On use everyone I can get. As you get older, things break in your body and you need to go in for repairs. Tell me about it. Tell me about it. Susie Aspen says, that's good up there over Albuquerque. I lived there a few years. It's beautiful. There's trees. It was so green and it was just beautiful. But it must get pretty cold there. And I'm guessing it snows because around October they shut the camp down because I guess of weather. So I don't want somewhere where it's extreme hot or extreme cold. So that's the challenge. There were some places up not too far going on the way to Yosemite, but a friend of mine had owned a property there, but she said they were having problems with water and she sold. And also in those areas where there's lots of trees, especially in California, you're going to have a problem getting insurance because in forest areas anymore, after all these forest fires, you forget it. All right, everyone's saying hello. Plain Vanilla Grandma says, I grew up in New Mexico, beautiful location and beautiful people. I love New Mexico. But do you know what? I was reading somewhere that said that New Mexico had the greatest amount of poverty of any state in the country. I was surprised to find that. Honestly, I thought it was West Virginia or maybe Mississippi or Alabama. They said New Mexico. But I'll have to go back and check and see what they use as their criteria. Graham says, I wonder how many $24 burgers they sell. Let's all start making and sell hamburgers. Well, I'll tell you what. This place stayed open during the pandemic. So they must be doing something right because they did not shut down. They stayed open and they are always really busy at lunchtime. So go figure. I don't know. Red says, I heard Tyler Perry paid loads of money for old folks' property. Oh, paid loads of old folks' property taxes in Atlanta. That was so awesome. That was. Because you know what's happening? You have a lot of older folks who've been living in their house 40 years or more. Houses are paid off, but they can't afford to stay there. They can't afford to stay there because the property taxes have gone up so. Property taxes have gone up so, and the insurance has gone up so. So even though their houses are paid off, they can't afford it. Do you remember Letty? She used to have a channel, Living Life with Letty or something. I ran into her in Quartzsite, not this year, but the year before. She had sold her house. I think her house was in Texas. She sold it because she said she couldn't afford the maintenance, the tax, the upkeep. Isn't that something? Having to sell the house that's paid off. That's crazy. Oh my goodness. But oh, you know, Tristan, I love Tristan from SUV RVing. He's been doing a couple of videos. He did a video just came out on property that was 1,300, but it's kind of in the middle of nowhere. He also did some property in Arizona that was $3,000. That was maybe a couple of weeks back. But he has some. He's been looking at land and sharing it. But one of the places he looked was Alamosa, Colorado. Now I was up there a while back when I went to the Gutted a few years back. The Gutted van life meetup, and I had considered Alamosa. So I don't know. I will hit you up, Carol from Plain Vanilla Grandma, and maybe talk a little more about that Panhandle area. But I don't know. I don't know. Uh, Everyone's saying hello to everyone. Um, Don says hi, Graham. I don't see you. I didn't see you at first. Glad to know that you're in a house. Yes, yes, yes. Uh, all right. Let's see. Let's see. Um, Anyone else that I haven't said hello to? All right. We are way over. So you know what? Anyone first time in their house, could you in this house rather, not in your house. First time in the house, would you put a number one so I can come in and say hello to you, or I can acknowledge you and shout you out? Also, if you're a content creator, would you put a big fat C? Plus, also, would you drop Nora's link? She doesn't have a channel, but she has an account over at Etsy with beautiful, beautiful artwork. So, would you drop her link? And with my moderators, would you drop your links too? All right, all right. CW Styles saying hi to Lindy. Patty says in the West, check Mexican markets. Yes, yes. Superior Grocers has chicken drumsticks for 99 cents a pound. Always something on sale. That is true. The Mexican markets here, and they do have prepared foods. Like they had tamales for $1 or $1.50 each, and they're delicious. So you can buy a couple of those. Me and Jessica, I get three, and we each get one and a half. So that's for $3. We've got a meal plus, a side, rice and beans that I cook myself for. So we have a cheap meals, but oh, their chicken is one of the Mexican restaurants. Let me look and see what the name of it is. It's in Vista here, and they have some. Let's see. Trying to see what that name. Not. I'm sorry, not restaurant. It's a grocery store. It is Northgate Market. Um, they have, oh my goodness, and they often have real cheap deals on meat, but their tamales, oh, I love their tamales for $1 or $1.50. Yeah, we can, yeah. So that, I don't know. I guess that's kind of eating out, but it's really cheap. So I think it's okay. Amy says tiny house is the only house we can afford now. Yep. Been in yours 8 years. Colorado, not mild, just lots of wood burning. 10 by 20 with loft for sleeping. Amy, would you be willing one of these Saturdays to come on and take us on a tour of your tiny house? Let me know if you're willing to do that. Hit me up at gloriouslifeonwheels@gmail.com. Let me put my Glorious Life on Wheels. In fact, actually, you know what? Can someone Red, can you drop that for me? Because by the time you guys get to it, I'm probably way up on the comments. But Glorious Life on Wheels, Amy, if you would be willing to do that, I'd love to share that. H Stone says, oh, hey, Chef Santa Travels. Hello, how are you doing? Oh, long time no see, Donald. It's so good to see you, Chef Travels. I am so happy about your situation with your medicine, that you found some for free. Oh my goodness, I'm so happy for that. H Stone says, I tried, but it bumped me out. We have a tiny shed we converted to a living space. Really, it bumped you out. Can you try again to hit that link? But yeah, I'd love to see that too, H Stone. But you know what? Hit me up at gloriouslifeonwheels@gmail.com, H Stone. If you're willing to put your number, I'll give you a call probably next week sometime, and maybe we can do a couple of practice private ones and see if we can get it down. So much going on next week, I'm telling you. JK says, oh yeah, I do remember that. Need more rich people like him. Yeah. He paid Tyler Perry paid some seniors taxes. Wow. uh Patty Wax says mold is a problem in tinies, and sheds really need good insulation and ventilation. Well, mold is a problem anywhere where you have a lot of humidity. Because I have a problem with is something I have a property I have right now that's in an area with dense humidity, and I've had to strip that sucker down to the studs. That's a horror story. I'm not even going to share it because it just sends me on a downward spiral when I talk about it. So, and I am convinced to look at the glass half full. That's my focus. But Gracie Six says, if you move to Argentina, your money is worth 10 times more than the U.S. Yeah, but I got so many friends and family here. I can't do that. I'm sorry, Crack 66. That sounds like, yeah, there are a lot of places you could leave for less, including Mexico, but not going. Afraid that isn't something I can do. Hey, Best of Move. Hello. Everyone's saying hello to everyone. Let's see. Don says it's been a while, Chef Santa, and it's good to see that you made it in. Yes. Uh, Lisa says she lived in a tumbleweed tiny house, 199 square foot for 3 years. Wow. That's impressive, Lisa. Oh my goodness, that is impressive. You did tell me about that. I just forgot. Bonnie says I just did 4 chicken breasts in crock pot. It's lasted myself and my dog a week. You and your dog for a week? Wow, you'll have to share what you use, how you did you make it into casseroles, how you did that. But next week, I'd like as many people as would like to come on and share, and I'll bring you up and come on, and we're going to share budget meals, budget frugal meals next Saturday. So be prepared. Get your meals ready. Get your recipes ready. We're going to have a hard time meal live next Saturday. Hard time meal live. I got to write that down because I'll forget what I even called it. My mind is just whoo, and these ideas come in and out. If I don't write it down, once they're gone, I can't capture them back. So, but remind me, Donald, hard time meals live next Saturday. So we're gonna, and I don't know where Shay is. I'm gonna have to hit her up and find out what happened to her. Kavita Diva says, Red, thank you for asking. That is so kind of you. I'm really struggling right now, but I am working on keeping that stress level low. I'm sorry, Kavita Diva, that you are struggling so. And, let's just say a prayer for Kavita Diva right now. Dear Lord, we would just ask that you would touch her situation, that you would help whatever needs to be helped, that you would come in and bolster her, be the wind beneath her sails, and just encourage her, be a source of encouragement to her, and bring people around in her life that will encourage her and uplift her. And we just pray, Kavita Diva, that will be the situation for you. Patty Wax says, yes, Temple is so tornado based. My daughter-in-law lives close to there in Lampasas. Yeah, they were in Temple and they got hit, but fortunately it didn't tear up her apartment. But yeah, it was just. Peg says, Costco cooked chicken $4.99. I grab a couple when I'm there. I pull off the bones and freeze. Yes. Simmer the bones for stock because they're seasoned so well. Aren't they, Peg? They're just delicious. And they're seasoned so, I love you. That's the best. I think that's the best deal out there. And I'm going to do something with them. I hope next week is my plan. We'll see. May not be till the week after, but my plan is to do something and show you something that's going to blow your mind next week on those Costco chickens. So, whew, I need to really get on this stick and get to working. I was going to put a video up today, but I just decided, you know what? I was tired, exhausted really, and I'm doing a lot of medical testing right now for some situations. So I just thought, you know what, I'm not going to push myself today. I'm going to do my live and be satisfied with that. Hey, two dog moms. Hello, hello. Glad you caught one too. All right. What? Kenneth, when I lost my little boy in 87, time stopped. Oh, Kenneth, I'm so sorry to hear that. I am so sorry to hear that. I just can't even imagine. Yeah, I'm sure time did stop. Oh, that's like 37 years ago. I bet it's like it was yesterday when you close your eyes and think about it. I just, I remember when my mom passed, I remember thinking to myself that people say the hardest thing in life is losing a child. And when my mom passed, I remember thinking, wow, so it's worse than this. How do people even live? How do people even live after that if it's worse than this? And it is worse than that, I'm told. So I am so sorry to hear that, Kenneth. My heart goes out to you, my friend. My heart really goes out to you. Oh, Browan says, hi from Australia. You look nice in that get up. Thank you. Thank you. Um, Kavita, Red says, Kavita, I struggle sometimes too. Depression, anxiety, prayers for you. I hope stuff I share on my channel helps some. I hope so too. And I bet it does, Red. Hey, Bass says, I'm glad I caught your live. I love you, Gloria. Well, I'm actually Carol, but you're not the only one. Half the people I have in my channel call me Gloria. But thank you for being here. Thank you for being here. Nora says, I don't shop at Costco, but the uh, roasted chicken at the markets aren't much more. They make great soup. They do. They really do because the flavor is so great in them. All right. Two Dog Mom says, I let the gray take over during the pandemic and it was the best thing I ever did. Well, I see, if you see here, I've got a lot of gray coming in over here and up here. So I'm just going to let it take over for now. We'll see. We'll see how long I do that. Uh, Nora says, I paid $20 to get hair colored, $15 for a cut. Where do you go to a kindergarten class? Where do you get a $25 hair coloring and $15 cut? Do you go to a beauty school or something? Because that is crazy cheap. Oh my gosh! And your hair looks great. So wherever you're going, they're doing a good job. Peg says dye is $4.99 for a box at the drugstore. Yeah, but I do more. I do $50 worth of labor. But for 20 and 5, 20 and 15, that's really great. But $4.99 does beat that, I have to admit. Uh Vaughn says, I won't color my hair, too many chemicals. Okay. Eyes Wide Shut. Hello. Says, hello. Howdy, everyone from Queensland, Australia. While my struggle begins, priced out of the rental market. Oh, my goodness. Trying to sell all my belongings to buy a trailer to live in. Tough times everywhere. Wow. 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 Yep. I hear that Australia is having really, especially in Perth and in some of the bigger cities, I hear that the prices have just gone berserk, absolutely berserk. Donald says, Kenneth, you must have sneaked into the room. I missed you coming in. Good to see you, my friend. Kenneth was the second one in the house. No, the first one in the house today, I think. So Donald, you did miss him. He was very, very first in here. I do pay for cheap haircuts, Peg said. Yeah, cheap haircuts, hey, you get to do something. Crack 66 says, I earned my gray hair. I did too. I've gotten a lot more in the last 21 years. You guys know what happened 21 years ago. I'm not going to say, but Donald, you know what I'm talking about. Uh, all right, I am going to be getting out of here. Donald says, if you're tight on funds, send prayers. They are appreciated just as much. Yes, yes, yes. Thank you for saying that, Donald. Thank you so much. On the GoFundMe that I announced earlier, if you can't and you're not able, or if you just don't want to, but please do send prayers. Send prayers for their comfort, for um, just their healing. Their healing. They'll never get over this, especially the sister and brother who saw it. But just send prayers for their healing and for people to come around them and just love on them. They're going to need a lot of therapy. Those two siblings. Uh, Lindy says, don't have hair or nails done. It's funny because Lindy's nails are so beautiful, everyone thinks they have them done. And they're always making wisecracks about how she can't be low on funds or struggling because she spends $75 to get her nails done. I crack up when I see those dumb comments. I mean, that's what I talk about. That's what I'm saying when I'm talking about fact checking. Some folks that make comments need to fact check before they make some of those dumb comments. Oh my goodness. All right. It's $25. Great clips. And $7.99 for hair color. Okay. All right. Is it $25? Yeah, I think you said. All right. Two Dog Mom says you're thinking of moving to Georgia. Ooh, from where? Did I miss where you're at? But I hear there's a lot of land in Georgia. I have heard that. All right. Well, I am going to, Kabira. Hello, Kabira. Hello. Why cover that beautiful silver crown? Abba has given you. I know. I've earned every one of these gray hair. That's for sure. I do not understand anymore rejecting that. Don't be fake. Enjoy, be proud of that silver crown. I am. I am proud of this silver crown, and I haven't dyed it yet. Although back in the day, I wasn't covering up gray, but I was a little bit blonde. I don't know if I have any pictures from that. I'll have to show you that back in the day when I was in my 20s. Graham says it never fails to amaze just how much ladies can be ripped off for hair, nails, eyelashes, and makeup. It's just outrageous. Hey, what can I say? What can I say, Graham? I know, but our stuff does cost. A woman's shirt is twice as much as a man's shirt. I know. We do get ripped off, even underwear, like you said. No more. You're right, Bonnie. No more 99-cent store. Oh, I know. All right, folks. Graham says I give free haircuts to anyone interested. I'll pass, Graham, but thank you just the same. Bonnie says, thank you, Lord, for food banks. I know. Can you imagine how many people would be suffering without food banks? But a lot of the food banks run out of food now, you know. Kenneth says, I just love the people here today. I do too, Kenneth. I love each and every one of you. I just hardly can even get off here. I love you so much. JK says rice, beans, lentils are very affordable. Frozen vegetables, also pasta and sauce. That is very true, JK. Very, very good point. Lentils. I love lentils. Oh my gosh, a pot full of lentils. Whoo. We love you right back, Kenneth Bailey. We do. Red says, Couture, I'm proud of my hair and color it back to the red he blessed me with. Okay. Yeah, JK said, I was thinking of Poshmark too. Yeah. And I have gazillions of clothes that I could sell. And I'm trying to pare down to a certain number of dresses, a certain number of pants, a certain number of tops, and get rid of all the rest. And Donald, you know how my house is. Oh my gosh, I'm not even going to talk about it. So I need to get rid of all that crap in there. Kenneth says, Graham, me too. The hair color. Let's build a bridge with the clippings. Yeah, men don't understand it. They don't understand. But we do get ripped off, guys. We do. Marna says, when I make a meatloaf after I cook, I cut it into 8 slices and wrap in plastic wrap and put it in a Ziploc bag to freeze. That's a great idea, Martina. That's a great idea. Let's see. Donald says, I like the Rosa and Kalia Graham Whitaker. I'm missing something, Donald. Let's see. Cheryl says, be careful with packaged foods. Sodium content is extremely high. Yeah, it is. It is. Let me look and see what the content is here. The sodium content on here is 37%, but that's if you use all the seasoning. And I usually don't use all the seasoning. Sometimes I don't even use any of the seasoning if it's really salty. I make up my own. But you're right. I had a hot dog the other day. I had some hot dogs in the freezer, and I'm going through and trying to use up food that we have, because I'm trying to use up food that we have so we don't waste any. Because Donald, you know how Jessica is. She goes through and she sees anything. If it's expired yesterday, she's throwing it out. I told you guys. Donald came home when Jessica went to visit. He came home and his pantry was stripped bare because Jessica had gone through and cleared out everything, rice, everything. So yeah, I'm going through and trying to use up all our food and cook with the food we have, so that we're not going out. And I'm trying to get my grocery bill this month down to maybe $200 for me and Jessica. So that means we got to use what we got here and no eating out. Maybe one time this month we might eat out because we're going to a graduation, and we might eat out after that. But yep, Cheryl Carter says, "Be careful." Oh yeah, I'm sorry. Just says, "What size land are you looking for?" Ideally, I would like 2 to 5 acres, but if I can only get an acre, I would go for that. But I would really like 2 to 5 acres. So I would like to have eventually a barnuminium, so I can have a clubhouse, and maybe have eventually have like showers in there for people who are dry parking. So there could be maybe showers, or at least an outdoor shower, and a community room where people can gather together, and a fire pit. And I want enough space so people aren't right on top of each other, but they can walk to each other if they want to. But you can be by yourself if you want to, but you can be in a community if you want to. So ideally 2 to 5 acres, but I would settle for an acre. I don't want anything less than an acre. uh Peg says Macari is another app where you can list items for sale. Okay, I haven't heard of that, Peg. Thank you. Miss Net says, I go to Goodwill and buy vintage items to resell on eBay. Vintage items are selling for top dollar on eBay. Wow. Okay. I don't know how to do eBay, but I could learn. I could learn. It just seemed like Poshmark was so easy. But I have a friend, Lily, who sells on eBay, and she does really well, I understand. JK says, I can make a better burrito way cheaper than Chipotle. I rarely ever get takeout. Yeah, Chipotle does have some good burritos, but they're expensive. I think they're like $11 or $12, depending on what you have on them. That's a lot. That is a lot. Uh, Donald says the moral of the story is don't look in a restaurant's bathroom before you order. Red says, I made $4,000 selling all the things in my house in Georgia before I sold it. Furniture, books, wow, on Facebook Marketplace. Wow. I've also been thinking of doing a flea market. There's a flea market here, I think it's $25 or $35. I've been thinking of splitting a booth with someone. We have been talking about it, me and a friend. So that'll be like $17 and something, either between $12 and $17, depending on where your booth is located. And if I sold $400 or $500 or even $300, that would make it well worth my time and my investment. All right, folks, I am going to get out of here. Susie says all major grocery chains in Arizona honor Senior Day 10% off. Wow. Wow. That's good to know. Lava Lindy says, I'm sorry, Kenneth, for your loss. I don't know if I could do without Jason. That's her son. Yeah, I know, Lindy. I know. It's just extremely hard to even think about. International Frugality and Budget is saying, please pray for my family. We are grieving for the loss of our mom. Oh my goodness, it's been very difficult, very different. Oh, just folks, please send up some prayers for International Frugality and Budgeting. Lord, we just ask that you would reach out and touch that family. A mom is someone who really often is the glue in a family, and to lose that glue in a family is very, very difficult. It's just a loss. There is no one that can replace a mom, and you don't try to replace them, but it's just the idea of having, without, sometimes, a mom is kind of like, a mom and a dad are kind of like the core, and the spokes are all around that. When you lose your core, what happens to all the spokes? So Lord, just touch that family and just bring them comfort. Wrap your loving arms around them and comfort them. Yes, rest in peace to your beloved mom. um Susie Asman says, yes, colon cancer stage 3, can use some help, 2 years out. Oh my goodness, Susie. Let's pray for Susie. Uh, just, oh my goodness. Ooh, people are really going through it right now. Uh, just touch her body, Lord. Just give her the strength that she needs, give her the encouragement, and just let her know that you love her and that she is your child. And just bring people around that'll be a source of support, that will maybe bring her a meal now and then, who will just call and check on her, who will see how she's doing. We just ask that God would bring that to you and help you with that, Susie. You know, I think everyone is going through something, but that is, and particularly losing a mom, losing a child, having stage 3 colon cancer. But I do know someone who had stage 4 cancer, and they beat it. They just hit their 5-year mark, so it is possible. Chef Santa says, I'll definitely take any prayers I can get. I got blessed with an electric wheelchair because I can't use a walker anymore. I'm blessed. All my doctors are heads of their departments. Well, praise the Lord. That's now we're going to pray for you, Chef Santa, and we're going to thank the Lord for these praise reports, your medication, your electric chair, wheelchair. We want to hear more praise reports too, because there are some out there, and those praise reports encourage the rest of the folks who are going through it. Uh Yes, you're more than welcome, Kenneth, for the prayers. Lindy says, so sorry, intentional. Will keep you in my thoughts. Well, Miss Net, we're praying for your health. Please pray, Lord, touch Miss Net's body, give her a complete healing from whatever she needs. Give her a renewal and a increase in strength, and just strengthen her and bring people around her that are positive and uplifting. No Debbie Downers in her life. Hi, Lucille. And uh yes, love you, intentional, from Vaughn's. Red says, Letitia, that's good. Was living off that and my alimony because I quit doing Airbnb. Was about to sell my house. Okay. Um yes, that's a good idea. If you are going to eat out, do eat out at lunch, not dinner, because and ask for the lunch or the senior menu, because the lunch or the senior menu is quite a bit less expensive, smaller portions, but we don't need to eat all of that huge amount at late at night. Uh Kalina, hello, Kalina, Kaliana, hello, aloha, dear friend. It's been a long time. It has been a long time. Welcome back. Where have you been, my friend? I'm so glad to see you. Thank you for dropping in. Letitia says, I buy 2 whole chickens to cut up, then a large package of thighs. It's enough to last myself and my special needs daughter all month. Wow, 2 chickens and a large pack of thighs. Well, next week, I'd love for you to share what you do with those and how you make that last, because that's amazing. That's amazing. Do you have a YouTube channel, Letitia? But that's quite. Everyone's saying aloha to Kuliana. But yeah, I love to hear that. Hit me up at a Glorious Life on Wheels on Gmail, Letitia. But I don't answer. I may not answer anything this afternoon because I'm you know, kind of rest after the live, and then tomorrow I don't answer, so it won't be till Monday at least till I. Ooh, and I got to bring my van and I'll leave it there for a week. It needs some work. Oh, I don't even want to go there, but got to leave it in for a week, so I got to figure out what I'm going to do. But Deborah Holden says, I read an article in which Assemblywoman Marie Waldron wrote stating that gas prices will be what? Up 47 cents in 2025 and another 25 cents in 2026. all in taxes for the state of California. That would be 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 99. So practically $1 a gallon. We're already at say 5 something a gallon now. I'm sorry. I don't care what your political affiliation is. We need a new administration that's going to say enough of these taxes. We need to roll some of them back, and we need to let people survive. That's all I'm saying. I'm not a political channel. I don't really, I do affiliate with one party, but I really, more than anything else, I go with the person and I go with who's sensible and who's going to help us all, you know? And that's just plain crazy. I'm sorry, plain crazy. I may have to go to West Virginia if this keeps up. Oh my goodness. Marta says Mayor has clothes, toys, shoes, etc. And the 26% on a credit card. No, thank you. I'm going to be addressing that next week. Lisa says, Peg, I do the same. Lunch is always cheaper. Yep. Mostly eat in places. Yep. Sandra says, on the rare occasion that I eat out, I make sure it goes for at least 2 meals. Yes, yes. Get something that will last for 2 meals. Absolutely. Kalina says, Mahala, aloha, akuda. Mahala, aloha. Oh my goodness. Kenneth says, Miss Net, I often pray for you, mostly thanking God to your kindness, for your kindness to me. Yeah, Miss Net, Kenneth, there's just some wonderful, kind, loving people up in this channel. And I'm telling you, thank you. I thank God for every one of you. Uh, Monica, California says, I cry laughing when Carol says, no, 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 no. Yeah. Hey, I'm sorry. It bears repeating. No, no, no. uh, yeah, that is awesome, Chef Santa. Kavita says, Carol, I'm experiencing deep depression. I'm casting injustices to God. I can fight any good fight. Please pray the depression leaves. Thanks, anyone who will pray. We are praying for you. I know there's some prayer warriors in here, Kavita, and I'm praying for you. And I commit, I will pray for you every day between this week and next live. That's what I'm committing to you and going to be praying and really praying deep in prayer for you, Kavita, that God will lift that and help you. And if you need to get some medication, don't be afraid to do that and maybe talk to someone, get some counseling, Kavita, because it does help to. Sometimes it really does help to talk to someone who can help you talk through and sometimes give you a different spin on things. So I would encourage you to do that. Lisa says she's going to. Kavita says, I can't not can. That's true. Yes. So people are in here praying for you. Hey, baby girl says, poor money management, a living above his means. A lot of people. Oh, yeah. You're talking about Anthony Brown. Oh, my gosh. I just can't believe that $80 million blown and now owes $3 million. So he's $83 million he's gone through. I'm telling you, there should be something in the NFL, the NBA, all of these sports things. There should be some kind of these leagues should provide some money, counseling, and guidance for these fellas coming in there. And he's only 35. He's got more money than 10 people have in a lifetime. Oh my, or 100 people, really. Oh my goodness. KJ says, oh yeah, that's because those athletes buy 20 cars. Yep, yep. I was listening to one athlete, I forget who it was, that I think it was Charles Barkley, said Dr. J. Remember the basketball player Dr. J? That he pulled Charles Barkley aside and he asked him, he says, why do you need more than one car? You can only drive one car. Why do you need more than one this? He went through all the lists, and Charles Barkley said that he listened to him. And some of these, they need these older fellas who, like, maybe a LeBron James or some of these fellas who've made good decisions, maybe a Magic Johnson, some of these people to come alongside them and give them some guidance. These older fellows in the league who have managed their money well need to form a group that as soon as one of these youngsters gets one of these big contracts, they pull them aside and start mentoring them. But you know what? We all probably at some point in our life needed a financial mentor. But I'm going to try and give you guys some good information next week. It won't be financial mentoring because I don't know that I'm qualified to be a mentor, but it certainly will be some advice. And again, next week, I want all of you to that want to bring me a hard times, and I remembered it, hard time menu. Uh, Vaughn says, I don't care if you're rich or poor, poor money management will be a disaster. That's true. That is true. You one thing Dave Ramsey says, and which is following, I think the what was it? There was another guy who was Crown Management. I can't remember his name, but I loved him. But one thing he says, every dollar you should know where not every dollar, just dollar, every dime is going. You should know once at the beginning of the month, actually the middle of the month, like the last week of May, I sat down and planned my budget for June. And I planned it down to the penny. So that's what I strongly suggest doing. International Frugality says my son's high school will start making finance as an elective. They should make it as a requirement, but that's at least that's a step in the right direction. Yep, Martin, not good with his money. Yeah, Debbie, we're people are praying for you, Kavita. Red says, Carol, I'm doing my live on Monday at 5:30 p.m., 4:30 your time on money. And next Monday, I'll go over how much I spend living in my RV for a year. I have to get my statements because they're not online. Okay, so that means this Monday at 4:30 Pacific, 5:30 Central, and 7:30 Eastern, Red will be doing her live Monday. So tune in and check out her live. Yeah, Graham, 80 million, and now broke. Too many knocks on the head, maybe. No, just going crazy. Don't know how to handle that kind of money. Bonnie Martin says, I've never done Door or Uber Eats either. No, yeah, it's too expensive. Mona, California says, I feel like I could feed a small country with the food loss weekly. That's tossed weekly. Yeah, they have a new thing. I don't know how new it is, but they have something in California where I don't know if it's grocery stores or restaurants or maybe it's both, have to actually donate the food that's left over that they were going to throw out if it's usable. And I think that is just a wonderful, wonderful thing. That is one thing that someone in power came up with. And I think that is just amazing. And I mean, all the food that's thrown out, you're right, could feed the country. JK says, oh, heck, no, never use food delivery service. Nope, nope. Oh my goodness. Brenda says, my husband makes me a lunch to take to work. Does he have a brother, Brenda? An older brother, perhaps? Wow, you are blessed. Uh, Red, please share your channel. Yeah, everyone, all of my moderators, please drop the links for your channel. Martin says, I learned in home economics years ago how to make a budget and write a check. I'm 72. They used to do those kind of practical things. I don't think they don't even have home ec. Remember they used to have shop and home economics and all those things? I don't think they even have those things anymore. Yep, they should require it, Red. Patty says, prayer request. I care for my 95-year-old father in his home. He was in the hospital for over a week, but now back and very weak. I'm blessed to have him and no financial worries for his care. Wow, you are blessed, Patty. You are double blessed to have him there and not to have to worry financially. Wow, but do pray for Patty and pray for her father and pray for her strength because it is difficult being a caregiver. It's a difficult task. So pray for Patty that she's able to be strengthened and pray for her father that he also gains his strength back. Uh, Lava Lindy says, everyone, it costs gas to drive to that restaurant. Don't forget your gas costs. That's true. So you're right. It's not only the cost of the meal, it's also the cost of the gas. Uh, Kenneth says, would that get us all a cruise to visit Graham? It sure would. It would get us a cruise there, pay for us to buy a plot of land too. I'm telling you. Yes, prayers for Patty. Thank you, Red, for dropping your channel. Um, uh, La Allen, is that, I'm saying that right? La Allen 8029 says a Mediterranean diet can be inexpensive and so good for you. I'll have to look into that. Um, all right. Chef Status says beans are high in protein and very affordable. They are. They really are both. Like barley and cracked wheat, a cracked weed rather. But I'm partial to lentils. I just love, and I like pinto beans too. But I love lentils, and I use uh that that what is it? No, it's not this. Nope, not that. I'll have to. Oh, this is what I use. I use the Saison seasoning. They have all kind of different ones, but I use these different ones in my in my lentil beans. This is the cilantro and tomato. Oh, I love these seasonings. Ooh, these are delicious. And plus the what is it? Oh, let me show the other seasoning I use. And I love this. I love like Badia complete seasoning. This is these are some of my favorite. And then Soul See oh my goodness. And then I have another one that I found. It's salt free seasoning. It's really good. I'll have to share it. I don't have it in the van with me. Uh Kavita says, Red, I just subbed to your channel. Oh, great. Thank you. All right. All right. Carrie Joe says, I never got the notification. Hello, Carol and everyone. Oh my goodness. Just put it on your calendar to alarm at 3 o'clock. Okay. 3 o'clock, Carrie Joe. But we're getting ready. I'm getting ready to head out of here because we've been on here for, oh my goodness. Do you believe this? For two. Graham says, if you go out for a meal over here, it is at the pub. A real meal for cheaper than KFC. Oh, big clubs that have poker machines have really cheap meals, but they are hoping you play the machines. Yeah, we used to have really cheap meals at casinos here, and some still do, but many of them have really upped it. They used to have really dirt cheap buffets before the pandemic, but there still are some that after 11 o'clock at night might have like $3.99 steak or $3.99, roast beef or something, but it's late at night, and who wants to? I'm sorry, but I don't want to eat something heavy at midnight, and then go to bed. And yeah, Lindy has a garden. She has a garden on the back of her van. Do you believe that? Oh, she's got peppers, you name it. She's got everything back there. She's got a rolling garden. Who ever heard of a rolling garden? That is a fabulous idea. She takes her fresh food with her everywhere. Go over and check out Lindy's garden. It is so funny. Oh my goodness. And cool. Kenneth said, Vaughn's with $80 million to get these Glowbies a cruise to visit. Yeah, I tell you, with $80 million, how many people could I help? I mean, I could help over 1 million with $80 million. Deborah says, I'm thinking of doing proofreading to make some money. Does anyone do this or know how to get into it? I don't, but I would think if you go online and maybe look at Upwork or some of those sites, you might find something, or just put in proofreading jobs and you might get something pop up. Also, I'm trying to think other online jobs. But there are a lot of online jobs now. But Robin from Creativity RV did a book. It's called Work from Home While You Roam. I think that's the name of it. Work from Home While You Roam, and she updates it every year. And she's got jobs that you can do if you're a nomad. So if you're, remote jobs. So you might check out that book to get some ideas and some hints, Deborah. N. Dixon said the water that you boil eggs in is good for your plants. Oh, okay. Because I'll have to try that. Carrie's saying hello to everyone. Patty Wax says, love your garden, Lindy. Oh my goodness. Hey, Three Generations. Hello. Red says, my daughter has a lovely little garden. Oh my goodness. I was planning on doing a container garden this year, but I just didn't get around to it. Lindy says, thanks, Patty. Peppers and tomatoes getting bigger. Oh my goodness, when I come up there, I'm going to have to get some of your peppers and tomatoes, Lindy. But you know what, Lindy? You could probably trade some of those with other van lifers up there for other stuff that they have, maybe for beans and different things. Uh, hey, Rack and Raw says some fresh frozen potatoes make my joints so sore. Ooh, I'm in pain. The food is affecting us. Yeah, what's that saying? You are what you eat. It's true, very true. All right. Von Rose says, Carol, they're trying to increase capital gains tax to 40. Oh, oh. We need to get a. Never mind. I'm not even going to go there. Pretty soon we won't have anything left. We'll be living on. We'll be living on $10 out of every thousand. Uh, but that's why I think tiny communities are going to be the way to go. I really do think that's going to be, you have a community there, you have people around you, but you also have your privacy and personal space. And then if you could have a big community area where you can go in and maybe have a stove in there, maybe a refrigerator, maybe a shower, and then I think that's the way to go. Uh, Rock and Raw says yes. Bring back usury laws. Yep, that's what it is. It's usury laws, like in the Bible talks about. Lucille P. Hello, Lucy. I remember my mom picking bugs out of the commodities we got when growing up. Boy, could she cook. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. I remember getting some of that government cheese when we were young. That was the best cheese ever. They don't have cheese like that anymore. That was wonderful cheese. Oh my goodness. I remember getting some of that a couple times. Peg says Bob Wells might have some land ideas for you. He has a place in Arizona. Yeah, he does. He does. Who I'm going to hit up, I've been trying to catch up with, is Traveling with a Graham Cracker. He has a property that he bought on a tax lien in Arizona. And I've been trying to catch up with him to find out about that. Because if I could get a property cheap like that, I, would go for it. And I might consider, even though I don't want to, I might consider delivered water. Graham says for 80 million, it would have some wild cruise for sure. Oh my God. Yeah, absolutely. Uh, Rock and Roth says, what are those laws? Usury laws, they're laws that outlaw charging outrageous interest or outrageous interest for loans. It just says that the idea is that it's criminal it's unreasonable to charge. It's kind of like payday loans. Those to me are usury, where it takes you years to pay them back, and you may borrow $500 and end up paying $2,000 back. That's usury, when it's just outrageous fees and interest for borrowing. Okay, well, Kenneth says here in Oklahoma, water gets dumped on you. Oh my goodness. JK says, I think meat, dairy, eggs should be expensive. They are a living, breathing animal. It takes a lot to raise them. Lord knows they are treated horribly too. Well, they say too, the amount of water that it takes to raise beef is unbelievable. The amount of water that's used. So that's quite something to think about too. All right, all right. Susie says no wells. They mostly collect water. No, I want somewhere where there's a wells. Aquila and Lanai, is that this channel? Lanai and Aquila. Anyhow, she bought some property and built a well. I may reach out to her and see if she's willing to share with me where she bought property at. Because if she hit water, there may be water if property's adjoining her. Robin says here in Victoria, Australia, more caravan parks are opening up for those over 55 or 65 to live in permanently, and they can bring their tiny home if they have one. Rents have gone through the roof here. Yeah, I'm reading and seeing that more and more stories about Australia too. Red says, Carol, I'm doing my live on Monday at 5:30 p.m., 4:30 your time. Okay, so we go ahead and she's going to tell you how much she spent on living in her RV. So check out Red's live this Monday at 4:30 Pacific time, and then 5:30 Central, 7:30 Eastern. Susie said Kingman has winter. I really like that a lot less than Tombstone. Oh, really? Well, I'm going to be checking out everything. Um, I have to admit, I'm getting a bit less picky than when I first started out because it's been an exhausting. I've been up to Arizona. I've looked in, every time I go through an area, I looked in Alamosa, Colorado. I mean, so I'm just ready to get this thing started. Lucille says, build cistern and have water delivered cheaper than a well. I know, but I don't like, Lucille. I don't like depending on someone else who at I'm at their whim. Should there be a price with a problem with water, they can charge whatever they want, and I won't have a choice because I have to have water. I can't exist without water. I want to be self-sufficient with water. I really do. Lindy says, when you remember going to McDonald's as a child, yeah, and you got a hamburger, fries for 25 cents. I do, and now $18. I remember, I think fries were actually more expensive than the hamburger. I think fries were 25 cents and the hamburger was 15 cents. Yep, I do remember going there. They opened the McDonald's near us, the first one, I think when I was maybe in junior high, maybe in 7th grade. And oh my goodness. Oh, we could sell Coke bottles. We would go around and sell discarded Coke bottles, turn them in, and earn enough for hamburger and fries. Oh my gosh. Rock and Rod says, as a poor kid, food was entertainment. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Lindy, Ron said, and the quality is way down, but price way up. That's true. And the sizes are way down too. Okay. Well, all right, guys. I am going through here. Hey, RV Grandma Charlotte, hello. I'm trying to get used to business here in Arizona, charging a fee to use debit or credit cards. Never ran into so many doing it until I got to Arizona. They do that too, not everywhere. They don't do it like in the grocery stores and stuff, but a lot of times if you when I had my roof put on, they only let me charge so much and the rest had to be cash. They would not take. And then what they do here, they try to incentivize it. In other words, they'll give you a 3 or 5% discount if you use cash. But it is more expensive in some places, especially at gas stations. It's more expensive if you use. Now, they don't charge for a debit card, but they do charge for the credit card here. All right. Oh, thank you, Kenneth. You're so sweet. Hot bulk sausage and dirty rice. That sounds good. That sounds. Lava Lindy says, I live in Solana County. Yes, that's going to be a big story, and I'm going to do a story on that coming up. But it's billionaires. All these billionaires got together, and they're going to build, or they're wanting to build a city. They're spending millions, I mean millions, trying to influence voters because they got it to the point that voters have to vote on it. But they have spent millions buying up all of this farmland. And here's the other thing. They're pressuring people they're suing people. And this is despicable. They're allegedly suing people who didn't sell out to them. And they're saying that they're colluding to make prices go up. Talk about David and Goliath. Talking about billionaires picking on little guys. It's just disgusting. Don't get me started. But oh my goodness. Yep, more trees, less billionaire. JK, I'm not going to say that. Less ish, we'll say. Where is she reading all these comments from? I'm totally confused. Well, it's on. If you're on the thing, you can see the comments as you're going. If you're on your phone, the comments are there, Santa. Oh, 175 thumbs up. Yay! You guys did it. All right. I can end now. It's up to 62. 62 you're in Melody 777. All right, well, I am closing out. I wanted to, for one, at least one live, get through all the comments. Oh my goodness. So I'm Spirit. Hey, Spirit Wind View. Hello, hello. Hey, Laura and Donovan. Oh, you're welcome. My goal, Laura, is really, people watch YouTube for three reasons: to be entertained, and I'm not that entertaining. I'm not a funny person. I mean, I can't crack jokes and do all that stuff. So that's out the window. The other two that are left are informative or instructional. So that's what I try to do. I try to focus on my strong suits, which is doing research and then bringing you information that you can actually use. And that will help. And sometimes just exposing terrible things that have happened and people who do things, like these. I don't know. I'm not going to even talk about the billionaires. I can't even. I can't even think of what their lives, are like and what their thoughts are like. Lindy says everything is breaking at 76. Hey, Lindy, everything is breaking here at 71. At least you got 5 years more out of your body than I am. I'm going to stop aging. I am picketing the process. Good luck with that, Lindy. If it works, tell me what you did so I can copy you. Yeah, I know, Vaughn. I got to go too. All right, folks. Let's see. For $100, Graham says you could have an allocated time slot to come and build your house for minimum weekly rates. Just a thought. Well, I'm trying to get volunteers to come and do it. And that's what I'm trying to do. All right. There's Nora's left her link at Nora at artwork by Nora at etsy.com. So go over and check out Nora. Red says, Carol, my stepmother didn't really legally marry my dad, so they didn't change the will, and she'd still, my dad, wow. Well, that was a shame. Hey, Donna Moore, first time in the house. Welcome, Donna. Welcome. 3 generations, content creator, outdoor trade travels, both a content creator and a fabulous moderator. Robin Cameron is first time in the house. Welcome, Robin. Lealyn 8029, first time in the house. We have a lot of first timers here. Amelia Raymond, first time in the house. Here's Chef Santa Travels. Welcome. And he's in the house, a content creator. Yeah, those counties, those states do have a lot of poverty, Marta. Okay, any other content creators or number ones? Peg Robinson, content creator. Go over and share some love with these content creators, would you? And everyone makes, Lealyn 8029 says everyone makes fun of Kansas. I don't make fun of Kansas. I think they've got some great prices. The only problem I have is anything with in Tornado Alley. I'm just scared of tornadoes. I have to tell you, I really am scared of tornadoes. Outdoor Travels. Thank you, Lisa, for dropping Peg's channel. Neo Soul Z says it's just found it pages this week. Looking for a van to trade in my. Oh, okay. All right. Yes, you're right, Susie. I do need to be somewhere near quality medical care. Absolutely. That's a consideration. Sandra Ty, content creator. I already said Redheaded Writing Hood is a content creator. And there's my email. Thank you. Miss Renee, first time in the house. Welcome, Miss Renee. Who else? First time in the house. Any other content creators that want to be called out, or do you have a C there? Let's see. I'm sorry, I'm going to have to jump over a lot of, hey, Rich Mountains, welcome. Jumping over a lot of comments here because we got to close out here. All right, Vita in DC. I'm late, but you just got in under the wire, Vita. Oh my goodness. Okay, I think simply being me. Hello. I think I've said hello to everyone, and I am going to. We have lots of comments. The Unspeakable says this is not going to happen. The only cut taxes for the rich, and that's true. That's and corporations. I know. Donald says time check. I know, Donald. I know. All right, all right. I am. Hold on. Red says 5:30. Yes. Oh, 5:30 Mountain Time, 6:30 Central, 7:38. Okay, 4:30 Pacific, 7:30 Eastern. Figure out the rest, you guys. If you know the Pacific and you know the Eastern, you can figure out the rest for Red's live tomorrow. Okay. Oh, Maggie says Trader Joe's was great for donations. That's good to know. Um, all right. Wow. Susie says you got your cancer diagnosis while caring for your 97-year-old mother. Wow. Wow. Thank you, Red, for dropping that GoFundMe again. And I am going to be getting off of here. Whew, I know I probably have missed. Hey, Jay Stratton. Hello, hello. Uh, um, that is it, folks. Whew, all right. Love each and every one of you. This is the longest live I've ever had, I think. But hey, I just love spending time with you guys. It's just a highlight of my week. It truly, truly is. I love each and every one of you. I'll see you down the road. Check out the video that I did on Tiny House and the one before that, and lots of good stuff coming up next week. So stay tuned. And if you're not subscribed, subscribe and hit that notification button so you can see all the good content coming up. I'll see you guys next week. Love you. See you later. All right, now to try and end this stream. Okie